Hi, it's Kendra with EduTech, and today we're going to look at grading with Google Forms. As a reminder, Google Forms can serve as a formative assessment where you can assign students a quiz and provide them instantaneous feedback. Let's jump into a Google Form. So this is a Google Form template that I created. I already created a short geography quiz just for the purposes of this training. As a reminder, some of the settings within Google Forms, you can create a form description and provide directions. You can automatically set your settings to collect emails. And here are some sample questions. And throughout the questions, I'm going to also provide you additional features that you can add. So question 1, it asks, what is the largest ocean in the world? You can also add a title to the actual questions. So for instance, if you have a question or questions that are under a particular theme, you can add in a title or description. So this question focuses on bodies of water. I may want to add in the actual standard. So just go with me. Not sure if this is the standard. Probably not. But I'm going to drag the title and the description to the top of that question. In addition to additional questions, you can add or import questions from various forms already created. You can also add an image to the question. So I can add an image to the title. So let's say that we're going to just talk about geography in general. And I just went under Google searches just to show me various pictures. And under my description, now I have an actual picture of geography. I can also add in images to various questions. So under my question number 1, I'm talking about bodies of water. Under Google image search, I'm going to type in bodies of water. And I'll just take a quick picture of various bodies of water just to give them some reference. And you can go on to the next question. When you look at question 2, the question says, which is a landform? As you can see for this question, one of the features that I added images to each answer choice. So how do you do that? For Amazon River, I didn't add a picture yet, so I'm going to add an image using this icon, the mountain icon, I like to call it. So click add image, and I'll just do Google image search. I may type in Amazon River, maybe rivers, and it's going to pop up pictures of the Amazon. It is great for your visual learners to reference pictures, especially for students who may be struggling with fluency or phonemic awareness, who are English language learners and are acquiring vocabulary and are learning how to pronounce various words. So this is oftentimes helps provide accommodations as well as being inclusive and making sure that you are addressing various learning modalities. So the last section, section 2, remember you can click add a section and you can go to various standards, or you can determine if you want to give them a different type of assessment choice question. So for section 2, I decided that my question format would be written response. And so question 3 is just a think it through written response type of question. And so that is the synopsis of the quiz. And just a reminder, you can always add a video to your actual question. You can add a video to your feedback that you provide to students as well, and I'll show you how to do that. Remember, if you're going to add a video, it's only YouTube. YouTube is a Google app, so it's Google to Google apps that are going to be able to be enabled within a Google form. All right, so let's jump into creating an actual quiz. So under settings, you're going to go to settings. And via the settings features, you can again collect email addresses, limit to one response. I do like to limit it to one response when I'm providing a quiz. That way you can only receive one student submission. Respondents can edit after submission. I usually disable this feature because I don't want students going back to make changes during a testing environment or see summary charts and text responses. So I allow the class to generally do this together at the same time and view the data. The presentation is okay if you do progress bars so the students will know how long they have to complete the assessment. Always nice to add a confirmation message. Thank you for submitting your quiz. It's something I quickly wrote. You can personalize that. And then also you would go under the tab that says quizzes. In order to make a form a quiz, you simply have to turn on make this a quiz. You have quiz options. For some education suites, under your quiz options, you will have a feature that I love. It says lock. I don't have it on this feature, but it is a button that says lock form, which will allow students to only take the quiz in Google Forms without opening any additional browsers, which will help promote academic honesty. And that way, students won't have the opportunity to cheat and find answers. So, generally, on the education suite accounts, that feature is there. The release grade feature I love because you will receive an email notification. The students will receive an email notification once you release a grade. Generally, it's best to not do the first option because if you are giving a student multiple choice, totally fine. But if you're giving a student a written response question, that quiz is not going to grade that written response question. So sometimes it's going to mark it as wrong or mark it partial. And then students going to say, well, I know I answered that question correctly and their grade is incorrect. So I generally like to click later after manual review because you will receive student notifications when they've submitted an assignment and you can go in and manually review their quiz and give them the appropriate points for the written response question. You also can note if respondents can see missed questions or the correct answers. And so you choose the correct answers, and then everything else will prompt them to be a missed question if you mark this. If you only mark a correct answers, they will only see the correct answers. Make sure you click save. And so going in, I only have 3 questions, so I will probably make the multiple choice 30-30 to make it 60 points and maybe the written response 40. But it's up to you. You can make it in point values by 10, point values by 50, 100, however is your preference. So in the answer key, you just click the answer key to the question, and then you just type in, or you can use the up and down arrows to attribute various points to each question. Once you click that, you add the point values, you can add answer feedback. So incorrect answers, you can add feedback to every incorrect answer. Try again, no, it's not correct, or provide a detailed explanation of why this is not correct. Or for correct answers, you can provide feedback as well. And you can simply write the first question says, what is the largest largest ocean in the world? You can give them a quick fact. So I might say, Pacific Ocean covers over maybe 45% of the world. I don't know. That's probably incorrect. I think it's incorrect. Fact. However, you can add in a fact or a detail to help students remember different information that you provided. You can also add your notes. You can link an actual document or text to it display optional. So you have those options. The option I like the best is the YouTube because it's super quick. You don't have to really think on your feet to write the right response. But for instance, if they got the question for correct answers, I may want to simply put a quick video on the Pacific Ocean. You can look at the bottom to see how long they are. So typically for a short quiz, I want to make the videos less than 5 minutes. So 3 to 5 minutes, make them definitely less than 10 minutes. So this video, how big is the Pacific Ocean, actually is 4 minutes. I'm gonna select that. So when students see their answers correct or incorrect, they can actually look at the feedback. If they needed incorrect answers and they wanted to just get a quick review, maybe I would also provide them oceans, video searches, oceans of the world, or world oceans, and I will add a link, oceans of the world for kids. It's 9 minutes. Let me learn oceans of the world for children, 5 minutes. And I will click save. So there's a video for the correct answer. There's a video for the incorrect answer, which will allow students to actually see the feedback once the grade is released. And you can also go into this for question 2. Same thing. You're going to go to the answer key, add 30 points. It's optional to add feedback, correct answers. You can add in some notes and click save. Also just click on answer 3 and attribute 40 points. Now the answer key is there. Now how do you know students are going to see the correct answer? Well, simple. All you have to do is go to each question and actually click on the question. As you can see, now it's edited. And then click on the answer choice. And then go back and click done. Okay? You can do it all at one step. But this will help students know and the computer to read Pacific Ocean is the correct answer, which is a landform. So I'm going to click this to edit. I'm going to click Rocky Mountains. Also, especially for Georgia milestones, you have the option of choosing more than one correct answer. So as you know, some question formats allow students to pick more than one answer, which is great. And you click done. And also for written response, answer key, you can, simply add answer feedback. And I generally say answers may vary because I'm going to go in and read them anyway. And then click done. Save and scroll down done. And that is it. So at the top, just to make sure that you note when you're attributing various point values to each question, making sure that it totals out to what point value you want it to, the total accumulation of points. So at the top it says 100. So that helps you out if you struggle with mental math a little bit. And for instance, if I want my total points to equal 100, but I only put 25 points for question 2, it will change the total points at the top to be 95. That way I know, hey, I need to add more points to question 2. And again, you can click out anywhere on the Google Forms. It automatically saves. And you can preview the actual quiz because you have 2 sections, and that's the way I created it. You will only see section 1. So as you can see, section 1 is talking about geography or whatnot. You can answer the questions. It gives you the progress at the bottom. You're completing page 1 of 2. Now I'm just going to click through the test. Next. Make sure you type in a valid email address. And then type in your answer choices and click submit. All right, so now let's look at how the responses will look once you view student feedback and you can provide their feedback as well. So let's look at one with feedback. All right, so I provided 2 students who completed the assessment. And so let's look at how well the students did and how to release their. So as you can see, the Google Forms will automatically provide you student data, a class view, as well as an item analysis where you can look at each question, and you can view this as a class to evaluate student mastery of various standards. It's a great way to do it. So under Insights, under Summary, you will see the average for each of the class, the median, and the range. So they're ranging from a score of 60 to all the way to 100. You also have the option to release scores. It will tell you, for instance, when you release the score. So if parents or students say, well, I haven't received my grade on this actual assessment, you can correct them and let them know that, hey, on this date, I released your grade. This also will indicate which students' grades you have not graded yet. So not released. So again, how the data can be skewed because this grade hasn't been released. That means I more than likely have not graded the entire quiz, which is generally the written response question that I need to go back and grade. So this student hasn't received a grade just yet. So I'm going to go in and look at their assessment, look at their written response, and provide them a grade. And again, in real time, the data will change. You also can see the percentage of students who scored on various questions. So this is the item analysis piece. And you can also go to the question. It'll let you all know based on number 1, you added 30 to 30. You have 3 responses, so you can actually click on each student's name or email address to look at their response. So every student got that one right. You can scroll down to question 2 to look at their student's response, and then you can move on to question 3. Okay, so pretty easy to do. Just at the bottom of the question, just keep going. You can see what student got it wrong. There was 2 responses correct and 1 response wrong. So I can just click on the name or the email to see which student got that one wrong. I generally wouldn't advise showing under the question tab. This format, this is for you, only if you're not going to choose to click here. So do not share and protect the confidentiality of each student. You can also go to individual, and here's how you would go grade those each student's response. You can look at the questions, or you can go back to the question tab as well. And all you have to do is you attribute, so you can give a check, and then you give a check to each student. And as you can see, this is one ungraded response, so I need to go in and I may say, yeah, they did really good. I can give them partial credit, no credit, or all the credit. And then you hit check, okay? And then make sure you hit save at the bottom. And so when you go back to summary, you will now see that the average score changed. The average score is a 90. The range is between a 70 and 100. You can also grade and provide feedback. Individual, you'll see their name at the top, and you can just flip through and go to each student that way. And you can also see scores. You can release the score again. You can release all scores at once, which I like. So at the top, you can just go to release scores, and all the students, you can check off which students who haven't received. I may want to just check that one. You can go to all respondents and send, email, and release. Again, when you release scores, you also can add an optional message. So maybe please review notes, have a parent sign off on it electronically. Any message that you want to send pertaining to various students or your class. Great way for differentiation, great way for remediation and providing accommodations to your students. So that is how you send and release scores. That is how you provide feedback. You also, that is how you get an item analysis, a data analysis of your students' performance. And I hope you have received a lot of tidbits and helpful tools in creating a quiz using Google Forms. Thank you again. It's Kendra with EduTech. Have an awesome day.